it's been well documented that you met and married your first husband, Peter Sellers, who was 17 years older than you. Yep. But then you later went on to marry someone who was 17 years younger.
Yes.
So we're thinking we're going to talk about age gap relationships today, because there's some stuff in the papers about it, which we'll get to in a little while. But you've experienced it from both angles.
Well, you know, I was very young when I married Peter Sellers, and I was very naive and very unsophisticated. I'd just come out of Sweden. I could speak English because we were taught in school. And so I was really his...
Oh, there you are.
I was really his little toy. And he had Norman Hartnell design that gown without me even knowing it.
See, wow. I know we're all going, because you look lovely. But if you were my daughter at that age, because you say you were 21, but mentally you were sort of, you felt about 16.
Yeah.
And whoever he was, 17 years older, sophisticated, I would almost feel like you'd been kidnapped or something. Do you know what I mean?
I know, but you see, he decided my life. If he didn't want to film, you know, I was offered lots of films, and if he didn't like it, he would just say to the agent, no, she's not going to do that. So he decided all aspects of my life. And because I'm easygoing and, you know...
But you were young.
Yeah. I was young and unsophisticated.
Yeah.
So tell me what the difference is between 17 years older or 17 years younger.
Well...
Which is the best bit?
I was married to Jim much longer than I was married to Sellers.
So is that a better way round?
Yes.
I'm not asking for myself, you understand.
Are you sure?
Yes, well... No,
you're asking for a friend.
Because what I was going to say was, if you have somebody 17 years younger, surely you have to keep the light off. Because you don't want all this, do you? I mean, they're 17 years, you know, you like...
No, because I looked really good.
I'm just fascinated. How did your parents react to Peter Sellers sweeping into your life?
Well, you know, the fame game. If you're famous, they'll put up with anything. And my dad go, my daughter is married to Peter Sellers. And so, like, he was in Stockholm society.
Yeah.
Wow.
So what about your mum? Did she feel as comfortable with it?
Yes, because he loved my mum, Peter Sellers, and he would write her notes, and I found them all, and I've given them all to Victoria. I have sacks of notes that he would send her, and sorry that I screamed at you yesterday, and then he would send some flowers. She didn't speak English, so it didn't really matter. But
so he was the charmer. So how did you and he actually get together?
I was sent to England. I was under contract to 20th Century Fox, and we did a photo shoot in the basement of the Dorchester. I'm laying on a piano with an Alice band and my hair in a chignon. And I was on the front page of the Evening News. And he lived like in the Oliver Messer suite, which is like the. But on the same floor, I lived in a cupboard. And he sent his valet over and said, you know, Mr. Sellers would like to invite you for a drink. So I went over. I put a lot of clothes on, because I didn't know who he was. I just read Swedish gossip papers that he had been a judge on a Miss Universe contest, and he'd had a little bit of a ding-a-ling with a Swedish girl. So I thought, oh, no, I didn't know he was an actor, you know what I mean? So I go there, and he gives me champagne, and then he says, oh, would you like to go to a movie? Bert, get the car. That was his valet. And we drove to Leicester Square, the Odeon, dear old Odeon. And there on the marquee was Peter Sellers in the Pink Panther. And we walked in, no tickets, no nothing. And I'm like, what? We didn't have to pay for tickets? And they sit us down and we get popcorn and things, and, you know, and I see the movie, and of course now I know who he is.
So that was sort of part of the
wooing process.
I think so, because I wouldn't have known who he was, and that's not nice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For an actor, they have to know who you are. So then I really knew who he was. And then he took me back to the hotel, and, you know, we all smoked in the 60s. We were very stupid, we did. And so he said, well, you smoke. And I said, I'm sitting there, yes, yes. And he said, have you smoked this? And I didn't know what it was. And he said, it's marijuana. We didn't have any. I know this sounds really naive, But you've got to remember, I'm very old. We didn't really have any drugs in Sweden.
And you were young. You were very young.
Yeah.
So he gave me this thing and he said, this is what you do. Hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it. So I did.
And when you woke up, it was Wednesday.
I woke up fully clothed.
Good.
In your own bed?
And obviously,
In my bed.
we've touched on the fact that's drug usage there, and as a programme, we're not condoning that at all. This is
gosh,
obviously
no.
just
No, no, no.
just
I mean, this is just a
It
little-
was just part of your life's rich
Yeah.
tapestry.
For more Loose Women action, click here. And I'd subscribe if I were you. It's totally free and it means you'll be kept up to date with new videos and exclusive YouTube content.